Thanks for joining me on the 249 Marathon Project Week 13 update video. In this video, I'll go through all of my sessions from last week, and I'll go through all of the weekly metrics, and I'll also discuss my feeling on the Valencia Marathon, on whether I think it's going to go ahead. We should find out this week, but I'll tell you how I feel about it. Just wanted to say too, if you enjoy this content, if you enjoy running, if you're looking for some marathon training tips, anything like that, this is how I train for a 249 marathon. If you're interested, I greatly appreciate it if you would hit that subscribe button. It doesn't cost you anything. It's just a little something that you can do to help possibly make this a little bit more achievable for me. As far as whether or not I think the Valencia Marathon is going to go ahead, there's been so much speculation about this online, and so many people are saying how the route and the city itself wasn't badly affected, if at all, and that they can't see why this would not go ahead. As much as I would love to say that that's probably the case, it is actually the case that the city wasn't as badly affected as the surrounding areas. However, there is such bad feeling in the Valencian community about how it was handled politically that there's a very, very strong chance, in my opinion, that it will be canceled because of the sensitivities around that. So at this point, I'm saying about a 50-50 chance whether it goes ahead or not. I know we still have 3 full weeks. However, prior to this week, I would have been maybe 75% chance to 25 not going ahead. So 75-25 in favor of it happening. The fact that this past weekend's Alicante half marathon was canceled, and that was 75 miles away from the affected areas, it doesn't look particularly great. So that's why I'm saying there is still 3 weeks to go, and I think there's a possibility. I would say I would lean towards 50-50. At the minute, where the expo is being held and where everyone will go to pick up their bibs and everything, that is currently acting as a morgue, a temporary morgue. There's still over 100 people missing. There's a lot of things going against it at the minute. So we'll see. We should find out early this week. But keep things in perspective. If it happens, excellent. I think we'll all be prepared. If it doesn't happen, make your plan B. I don't have a plan B. I'm not in a position to travel abroad for a marathon. There is one in Malaga, but that's almost as good as traveling abroad for me. It's about 600 kilometers away, so I don't have a plan B. But we'll just see how it goes. The 249 Marathon Project Week 13 daily sessions look like this. Monday was a 16-miler or a 26K easy effort run. This was an excellent run for a number of reasons. First of all, starts my week off putting me in a situation where I have tired legs and I have to perform on tired legs. Secondly, the last 10K of this run felt like the last 10K of a marathon. I ran out of energy. My fuel went to empty at about the 10th mile here, and I had 6 miles to go. And it felt like I had to push through. So I got to use my mantras. I got to use other mental techniques. So I was counting my cadence for miles on this particular run. Although I can't say at the time it was enjoyable. It's such a really positive run at the end of the day, and an excellent way to train for the last 10K of a marathon. The pace wasn't anything particularly hard. However, the effort was very race specific or event specific, if you know what I mean. Tuesday was a 9-mile tempo run. The objective was to hit 6:30 or 4:02 per K pace. It was a really good run on a number of levels. I didn't quite get the pace, but the reason I had such a medium long run on Monday was because I wanted to fatigue my legs and carry out the rest of this week on tired legs. So I hit my objective there. I wasn't too far off my pace. Some of the Ks were a good bit off, but a good few of them were also almost there. So very positive run. You can see the actual splits on the blog post, and I'll put that out. I'll put the link in the description. Wednesday was a 13-mile easy effort run. Once again, piling up the volume, and it's good volume. So this one was really good. I did a tough enough course, enjoyed it. Don't think it was as hard as the Monday 16 miler, and maybe not as event specific as far as the marathon goes, but everything about it went to plan. Thursday was a much appreciated rest day, so I did not run on Thursday, and yeah, it was good, well deserved, and yeah, it did what I needed it to do, and it set me up nicely for Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Friday was a double session, and this was a proper double session. So it was 8 miles steady in the morning and 7 miles easy in the evening. So the morning steady session, the pace was absolutely superb. Very happy with it. It's not often that a steady pace is faster than you expect it to be. I generally run to effort, and so in this case, it was steady, being 2 breaths in, 3 breaths out. That was my breathing pattern, and kind of keeps me right as far as the pace goes or the effort goes. Um, and the fact that I was recording a video during this, so I was comfortably hard. It was a comfortably hard pace. So yeah, excellent. I really enjoyed getting a double session, and it's a good way to get 15 miles during the course of the week into a week that has a lot of volume without really putting too much pressure on the joints and the muscles and what have you, because I did have a good 5 hours between the runs. Saturday was another tempo session. This was a 7-miler or 11K with the 5K in the middle at max effort. I was really pleased with this, even though it wasn't a particularly fast 5K. It was the first time I've run this on a relatively flat course during this marathon block. And I wore the Vaporflies. They're very good. I like the Vaporflies. And everything about this was enjoyable, and I had company for the first time, which was fantastic. Yeah, so it was 3K easy, 5K hard, 3K easy. Yeah, nothing else to say about that other than I was really pleased with the effort. Sunday was it was supposed to be a 22 miler, 12 miles easy, 10 miles hard. I did one big loop of the surrounding area. It ended up being 34K, or just over 21 miles. And what I did was I put the hard efforts in the middle of the run. So what I did was I'd run, 5 miles and then put 5K hard, another 5 miles, another 5K hard. So there were 3 sections of this run that were run at pace with 5K, 5K, 6K. At a hard effort. Now, I didn't hit my pace goal every single 5K, but it was a very strong effort, and I was pleased to have it done. I was pleased how it felt at that pace. Everything about it was positive. All told, it was a very positive week. It was another positive week. So pleased to say that, yeah. And that's the week 13 training sessions. For the week 13 metrics, let's start with body weight. So not a good week for me as far as body weight goes. You will see all of these daily calorie updates and, how much protein and what have you on these updates here, but you can get a much more full picture on the blog post. So if you look at this week, I gained 3.2 pounds or just under 1.5 kilograms. I do prioritize good whole foods, fresh foods. I have made the transition to maybe slightly less protein and more carbs to help fuel these big weeks. This was a big week. But I've also put on 3 pounds. And, if you look at the Stillman calculation, Stillman's table shows me at ideal weight of around 140 pounds. You can see that I wrote about that in the Marathon Training Strategies book about the Stillman calculation and the importance of race weight, right? So your weight, you get 2 to 3 seconds per mile per pound of body weight. That's what each pound is worth. And I put on 3 pounds, so I just lost 6 to 9 seconds a mile. You may find that hard to believe, but if you look at my last 3 marathons where I ran 2:58, 2:56, and 2:54, body weight played a big part of that. My average resting heart rate for the week was 41 beats per minute. That is unchanged from week 12. My average heart rate variability number is 82.1. I'm not convinced my readings are accurate. They can vary widely within seconds, so who knows? But I do take it every day with the heart strap on, so we'll see. We'll see. I don't know. It's something to watch, and it's fun to record it. For my average nightly sleep, it's 7 hours and 39 minutes. It's up 39 minutes per night. We've had some late nights, some early mornings, some late mornings, and some early nights. So it's a little bit all over the place at the minute, but it's nothing to worry about. So my protein intake is at 133 grams per day on average. That's up 24 grams over week 12. I mentioned that I am prioritizing carbs. So 133 is still a little bit low compared to where I was a few weeks ago. So 133 is probably in the range where I want to be, say 120 to 130-ish, with a slightly bigger percentage of daily calories going towards the carbs. So my water intake was 3.25 liters per day. That's a little bit up. It's up about 350 mil per day over week 12. So yeah, I'm definitely making more of an effort to get my hydration levels up. As far as volume goes, 132 kilometers, a little over it. That's up just under 60K from last week. And if we put that in miles, that's 82, just over 82 miles, or 36 miles over last week. So pretty big volume week, not huge. I would typically get into the 90s, maybe touching on 100 miles on some of my previous training blocks, but I will take an 82 week. I will take an 82 mile week any day. So week 13, lessons learned. What I learned this week was coming back from an injury. So for the last 3 years, I had my adductor injuries in 2021. I haven't had any significant missed time because of injuries or illness over the last 3 years. What I would say is this: sometimes it's not a bad thing, because when you come back from an injury or an illness and a small bit of time off, I had less than 2 weeks off, my body had the chance to recoup and recover. And last week and this week, I'm feeling as good as I have in this whole entire training block. I feel as good as I did at the very start. So that's a real positive thing. So sometimes an injury or illness is not necessarily a bad thing. I would say in particular, coming towards the end of a training block, because I've put in all of this hard work. My body is just going to catch up and just really get those adaptations at the right time. And so I have 10 days of hard work to go before I do my 10-day taper. It means there's only 20 days till the marathon. I'm really, really feeling that I'm coming to the best of my fitness at the right time. And so I'm looking to peak on race day. And I think, given the time that I had off, when I had that time off, was okay. Would it have been better to not have the time off? Probably, but it's not the worst thing in the world. I think I'm coming into myself now, and I'm really happy about that. I'm excited to get this 249 project on the road in Valencia, and we'll just have to see if it goes. Okay, that's the 249 Marathon Project, week 13 update. I have nothing else for you. Have a great week of running, and I will see you on Friday with the week 15 training sessions.